Welcome, friends. Welcome to week 3 of our book series that we're doing called It's Never Too Late to Begin Again by Julia Cameron. She's that best-selling author of The Artist's Way. And the book that we're doing, It's Never Too Late to Begin Again, is all about discovering meaning in midlife and beyond. Whether it's a chronic illness that makes you have a midlife transition or whatever that is for you. And we're going through week 3, which is reigniting a sense of connection. And today I'm going to take you through the book while I go and take my puppies for a walk. So I hope that you'll join me in this week 3, and I'll talk to you soon. Every day I try and get outside and give the dogs some fresh air and a walk. And Jamie made this great trail for me with the big snow blower so I can walk all the way around, up and around and back as many times as I want to try and get my steps in. I have a goal every day, 5 days a week, of what I want my steps to be so that I'm constantly exercising and moving for my new heart. So that's what I'm doing. And this is a great trail because it's not icy like the driveway. You can see it's really slippery, and I can definitely not walk on there. So I can walk on this grass, peeking through, and it makes it so nice. Come on, buddy. Come on. Let's go. Come on. He's so funny. He just takes his time and then he catches up with me later on. I just love this time of year walking when it's warm out, but even if it has snowed, it's still beautiful because it's usually always blue skies. Today is a little bit socked in, but it's nice and it's warm. It's plus 2 degrees. So for winter here, that's really warm. And the dogs just love it and they get their exercise. And then I'm not scared because it's a little icy patch. I'm not scared because the bears are in hibernation. So I feel like I can be out here without too much worry, because all summer long and spring and fall, we have a major bears up here. And I'm really scared of bears. Where are you going, Rick? I'm over here. Come on. Come on. There's one. Hey, Sandy. Where's everybody else? Ricky, come on. Oh, you're going to go the hard way, huh? Aw. Come on. Come on, you could do it. Good girl. Good girl. You silly thing. Where's Brian now? Oh, he's on the other side of the trail. Just sniffing away, having fun. Hey, Bri. What are you doing? Silly. Okay. Back on the trail. Okay, so for week 3, we're talking about reigniting a sense of connection. This week, your memoir is likely to reveal early relationships that you focused on with a new intensity. Retirement or midlife transition also provides a time to reflect on the past and present relationships. Who do you want to be close to? Who do you want to distance yourself from? Are there openings in your life for new relationships? This week, you will look at yourself in relations to others. Who is your community? Who would you like it to be? We will explore loneliness and isolation, common issues in retirement, as well as opportunities to connect through volunteering. You will experiment with asking and offering support. So that's really interesting. And just so you know, I'm just reading straight out of the book. And there is certain tasks that we have to do every week, like morning pages, a walk by yourself. Yes, I do have the dogs. It's supposed to be by yourself, but that's okay. And we're building our memoir. And by all these things, doing these tasks, we're actually building up a story for ourselves, even if it's in point form or whatever while you're writing. And so the topics of this week are choosing our companions, loneliness and isolation, volunteerism, support, and strength in numbers is a task. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. So for those of you who are joining me for the first time, if you go back to week 1, I explain how we start creating our memoir, which can be a journal or just a dot point form of the things that we're going through each week. It's whatever it is for you. And it builds upon itself. So basically what she's saying is you divide your life into sections, divide your age by 12, because there's 12 chapters in this book, and that's how many weeks I'm going to do these videos and go through each week. And this is the number of years you'll cover each week. So for week 1, I am ages 0 to 4. In week 2, I'm ages 5 to 9. And week 3, I'm ages 9 to 12. So ages 9 to 12. So a lot of the memoir has to do with remembering back into some things in your childhood. And so that's why, but you don't have to do that if you don't want to. So week 3, she talks about, I'll just read, in retirement, the intensity of our work relationships diminish, and those that continue are for the most part by choice. On the one hand, this may be a relief on some levels. We may be eager to bid farewell to those inconsiderate coworkers who brought such small annoyances to the day, or higher ups that we didn't agree with. On the other hand, we may have loved our work and miss it dearly. We also have choices to make. People in our lives may expect you to be fully available now. That was so interesting when I read that. That can be really true. Now, we also may have relationships we want to rekindle that we didn't have adequate time to nurture during our work life. It is our time to be consciously consider the community that we want to surround ourselves with. And so I just was thinking and writing in my journal all about who I want in my life. People, I liked where she said people expect us to always be available now. That's really interesting, and some people do think that. But this one's all about who we want to surround ourselves with. And the first task for this week was, these are the questions. And then I answered them personally in my journal and tried to remember back from when I was the age 9 to 12. So the questions are, whom did you form new relationships with in this period? Where did you live? What was the community in this period? Did you have one? Was it satisfying, complicated, dramatic, supportive? Describe one sound from this period. Was there a song you listened to over and over that brings up an experience or memory? Describe one taste from this period, one smell from this period of time. Describe a time you felt lonely. Describe a time you felt supported. What was your source of stress at this time, if any? What other memories feel significant for you from this time? So there's your things to journal about for the first task. And I wrote a lot in my journal about how I remembered growing up, and that we used to go walking, and there was this down to the lake all the time, and there used to be this beautiful pavilion and all these activities and all these different things that we used to go to, and they're gone now. But we did so many fun things at the beach and at the fire hall, because my dad was part of the fire hall. And so I wrote a lot about that. And I remember friends that came over, a special friend, Davy, who always brought me some homemade jam. That was later in life, but I jotted it down just so I didn't forget, because that was such a nice memory of that time. I remember riding my bike and my mom making me ride to the store all the time for her. So that was interesting. I had totally forgot about those things. It is so interesting how so much gets sparked from these simple tasks of writing. Next topic she talks about is loneliness and isolation, and that can also be something that is experienced when you are not working, or you're retired, or you're having a transition in life, and maybe you've lost a lot of your great friends. It could be anything. And I'm pretty okay with that one. I feel like I'm never lonely. I always have people I can call, and if anything, I need more time alone to do things that I want to do. But that's definitely can be a huge factor. And what your task is for loneliness is to take 20 minutes and allow yourself to write about a time in your life that you were most lonely. What were your circumstances? Were you surrounded by others or isolated? Were you working or not working? Take the time to write about a time you felt connected to others. Remember that the person you are calling may need to connect with you as much as you do with them. So that's so interesting to me, because all of a sudden I'll get somebody on my mind, and I feel like how important that is to just phone them. If somebody's actually on my mind, that's a sign that I'm supposed to talk to them. So if you follow your intuition in that way, you can really experience some neat things, some neat flow in your life. She also talks about volunteerism, about creating that it's a higher power, and it's a way to express yourself, extending to others, creating a flow of grace. And I really like that. I think that's really nice to do, and super important. And number 3, okay, so volunteerism, I'm still stuck on this because I need to focus on healing and myself right now, but that is something that is important to me. And I wrote down some people that were really supportive in my life, and that was really interesting to think about who were your supportive people from that time, from that age time, and about how reaching out can feel really hard, but it's so important that we ask for guidance and input from friends, former colleagues, or anything. It also can be really inspiring to hear what other people are doing. So the task for that is to take your pen in hand and list 5 people who have been supportive of you at different times in your life. Choose one person and reach out to that person. Can you offer that person support? Could they support you? I thought that was really neat. And so I chose to do that. And I feel really a lot of gratitude right now about who I chose. And I want to also choose other people on the list. Some have moved away and I don't have their number anymore, unfortunately, but I thought that was really key. So those are the main tasks for week 3. And don't forget that you're going to be doing, each week consists of your morning pages, which are your 3 pieces of paper in a journal, or just freehand writing anything out of your mind. It doesn't have to be anything put together or anything someone's going to read. Your memoir, those are answering the questions that I've given you. Your artist date, which is a once weekly solo expedition to explore something fun anywhere, a bakery, an art store, a plant store, like anything that whatever you like. And a 20-minute walk solo without a dog or friend. Well, I kind of blew that one because I brought the dogs. I'm not going to leave them home. But I was really doing a lot of thinking during that time. So I feel pretty good about it. So I hope that you will enjoy this week and all about reigniting a sense of connection. And I will be back next week with reigniting a sense of purpose. And I've already been doing some reading and it looks fabulous. Hey friends, so when I showed you that pathway, this is only 1 week later. There's the pasture that I was walking through the trails with the puppies, and it's already melted. All you can see is that little bit of white at the end. It's incredible how warm it is this year. So it's definitely not good for the mountains or the snowpack, and it's definitely not good for upcoming fires and our creeks running, and our well for water is definitely not good. But I'm really enjoying the temperature. It's amazing. Normally everything would be white right now. Normally all we would see right now is snow everywhere, and the lake would be completely frozen with ice. And so this is just incredible. There's not even snow way up on those mountains. So kind of dangerous for what's coming up, but hopefully something changes. There isn't even any snow in the forecast, so that's kind of scary. But the chickens are having a great time listening to tunes and playing in the forest. They sure don't like it when it's -40, that's for sure. So thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. Please feel free to subscribe if you enjoy my content, and I hope to see you next time on week 4. It's going to be great. Bye friends.